Bonjour everyone and welcome back to the Waves of Your Soul. I am your humble French tarot reader slash deck goblin Marine, and today we're going to be doing a good old-fashioned haul. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the new tarot decks, oracle decks that have joined my tarot collection in the last months, 4 or 5 weeks, whenever it was I did my last haul, I can't remember. There is a lot. Prepare, be ready. I was gifted some decks, I purchased some decks, I received some pre-orders, there's some indie, some mass market, some tarot, some oracle, and honestly I just wanted to come here today and share my new goodies with you. This is just something I like to do. It's fun. I love watching those videos from my fellow tarot YouTubers. I love watching the decks they bring in, the decks they declutter, and so some of these decks I have used and I'll give you mini reviews. Some of them I've not used yet, so we can kind of like discover them together. Of course, you will see more of these decks in future monthly favorites. That's usually where I go back and share with you my thoughts once I've worked with a deck for at least a month. Some of them I might even do reviews. I'll see how I feel, and of course you will definitely see these decks being used in all of my pick a card readings, especially Your Fool's Journey, which is the big pick a card reading adventure I'm doing right now, where I'm offering one pick a card reading inspired by each major arcana. We've done one inspired by the Fool, the Magician, all the way to right now where I'm filming, we're up to the Chariot. So if you want to see how these decks read, definitely look out for my pick a card readings, because I'm always putting them to good use. We've got Monet keeping us company today. I really needed a little bit of beauty. I made a deck haul playlist. If you enjoy those kind of videos, you can definitely go and binge it. I encourage you to. And of course, if you enjoy this video, you can give it a thumbs up, you can leave me a comment. I love to read you. I try and respond to all of my comments, unless they're mean. If they're mean, then usually I block them. Sorry, not sorry. Without further ado, let's get into this deck haul. There's quite a lot, so make yourself comfy, make yourself cozy, and let's get into it. Okay, where should I start? Let's start with the decks that I've been using the most in the month of June. I guess this is like a sneak peek to my June favorites. Let's start with the deck I have had technically the longest, and this is a deck that I've technically had for a few months already, but I had been missing one card. So I got in touch with the creator, kindly sent me my missing card, and I received it in the month of June, so I can finally present it to you. It is the Tarot Frogs by Nimbob. It's a deck I had seen on Instagram at random, and mine was, I must have been like March or February, and I literally saw a few cards and I was like, yep, sold, and I pre-ordered it. You know, I'm a very spontaneous Aries, but at least I'm self-aware. So sometimes I buy things when I see them just because they're cute. This was definitely one of them. So this is what the box looks like, and like I was saying, it's an indie deck. I've never seen anyone talk about this, so I don't know if any of you have seen it, or if not that many decks were printed. I don't even know if it's still available. I'll make sure to leave the details of the person who made it down below. nimbob.co.uk, and they don't do just decks. I think they do like prints and other goodies, stickers and stuff, so definitely check them out. And so this is what the box looks like, by the way. You had one of those little very basic, you know, just keywords. Not very much here, but I bought it for the froggies. I bought it for the froggies, and like I said, I actually had, oh, here are the backs, by the way, and as you can see, yes, it's very, very shiny, very, very shiny, and I kind of live for it. So the sides are also very shiny, and even the fronts have golden accent. When I originally pre-ordered this deck, it comes with an extra card, which is called the Flower, and my deck had 2 3 of cups, but I didn't have the 10 of cups. So I got in touch with the creator and I was like, is it possible to send me like the card I'm missing? I could use this as a 10 of cups, especially because, you know, I don't know, it feels quite coherent with the 10 of cups. If I had been missing, I don't know, the Hangman or or maybe like Three of Swords, it wouldn't have really worked. But for the 10 of Cups, I was like, I can make this work, but I would rather have a full deck. Very kindly sent me my missing card, which I received earlier this month, so I can finally share this deck with you guys, because I've been sitting on it for a while, but I was waiting to get a full deck so I could introduce it to you really. So as you can see, all froggies, which are this artist, like, I guess, main characters. That's what they mostly draw, I believe. And as you can see on all of the cards, we have this very shiny gold vibes, which, you know what, I live for, honestly. And so this has been a joy. I've been using it this month. It's very RWS. It's an RWS with cute froggies who have a cute butt. I mean, how can you be mad at that? Cute froggies with big butts? Come on. It's very RWS, it's very shiny, and it's very cute. And you know what? It's been bringing me a lot of joy. The size is a little bit smaller than your regular tarot size. Whilst it's not a pure RWS clone, if you're familiar with the RWS, you'll have no problem at all. I thought maybe the miners would be pips, because I told you I bought this sight unseen. I was just like having a day and I saw cute froggies and I was like, yep, add to cart. So I didn't really pay much attention. But honestly, most of the miners are fully illustrated, which are really, it was a good surprise. I was very, very well surprised. My favorite part though are the majors. They are gorgeous. Look at this froggy moon. I mean, come on, this death with the eye in the cloud and the moon, so cool. The lovers, adorable. The emperor is so determined. I love their cute little determined face. The magician, you just want to put in your pocket and carry with you and ask for your prophecy every day. It's adorable, and like I said, it's very RWS, so it's super easy to read, and I've been enjoying using it this month. Is it the most occult, esoteric, smart deck I own? Absolutely not. Does it bring me joy? Absolutely yes. And you know what? That's what I'm asking for it. So this is the Nimbob Tarot. It's super cute. I definitely want to use it in a future pick a card, and I will share more of it in my monthly favorite for June, because I've been using it. The one thing I don't like, we know that by now, the box. I hate boxes that have two sides like this. I am a dumbass. I can never figure out how to split it equally. It stresses me out. Apart from that, this is gorgeous and I'm so pleased. I have the full deck now. A Kickstarter I received at the beginning of the month. You've already seen it in my mid-year tarot tag video. I was sharing it with you. If you've not seen my mid-year tarot tag, which was a VR to the tag that was created by Chanel from Chanel's Day, I'll make sure to leave it in the cards. It's just a fun video where we share with you the newest deck, most surprising deck of the year so far, most disappointing deck of the year so far. It's a nice way to like round up the year so far. How many times can I say so far? A lot, apparently. If you've watched that video, you've already had a sneak peek of this one. This is a Kickstarter I received at the beginning of the month. It's called the Exile Tarot. I have the Awaken edition, and it is by... I never remember. Wo Studio. They are the same people who did the Monsoon Tarot, which I haven't loved, or that deck, and so this was a Kickstarter by Vermillon Collection, and I'm a huge Vermillon Collection fangirl. I've actually ordered quite a few of their deck recently, which I've not received yet, but they're coming. I like what they do. They have free shipping. They have lots of different kind of artists, so I enjoy them as a indie publishing company. And I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just sharing with you what I like. Most of these decks I'm going to share with you today I bought with my own money, or if not, they were gifts, and I will make sure every single time to tell you if they were gifts or not. Okay, here are the backs. Here are the gorgeous sides, which are holographic, silver holographic. Like I said, these are the same artists that did the Monsoon Tarot, so of course you're gonna recognize, if you're familiar with that deck, the art style, which I think is very striking and unique. It's the type of artist that as soon as you see their stuff, you recognize it. And there was two options. So I got the Exile Awaken edition in this particular box. The Kickstarter actually had a ton of options. You could get this deck in a tin, which was a slightly smaller pocket edition. You could get it as what they call the deluxe edition, which is this one, which is just regular tarot size. There was lots of different options, and there was also different options in terms of the actual artwork, because I got the Exile Awaken edition, and as you can see, all the faces here, people's have their faces drawn. But there was also the Exile, I always want to say Sleepy edition, but it's not Sleepy edition, so let me check, because I always want to say Sleepy, but it's not Sleepy. Silent. The Silent edition is the same deck, same artwork, except the faces are blurry. They are like blurred out, which is kind of the same vibe as the Monsoon Tarot, because the Monsoon Tarot from the same people did that. So you could choose between the two. I know a lot of people got both. I only got this one because I wanted my peoples to have their faces drawn, because if I want a deck with blurry faces, I already have the Monsoon Tarot and I didn't want these to compete with each other. And the great thing is that the guidebook actually gives you two different meanings. So it will give you a meaning for this edition, the Awakened one, but it will also give you a different meaning for the other edition, the Silent one, where people's faces are a little bit blurry and where the artwork does differ a little bit. It's not huge, but I've noticed that reading the guidebook, the artwork does differ, like enough that you could definitely justify getting two of the decks. I didn't need to, so I just got this one, and I'm very, very happy with this. This was probably one of my fastest Kickstarter I've ever had. Back this, I don't even remember, March or April. I got it in my hand at the beginning of June. It was super fast. Like I said, the guidebook is great. It actually gives you the meaning for both decks, so even if you just have one, you can still see the artwork for the other and compare both, which I found really interesting. The artwork is gorgeous. It's definitely fantastical and magical, and it's its own world, even though it is, I would say, loosely based on the RWS. This is absolutely not a clone. This veers its own way. You are stepping into a world of magic, a world of fantasy, of otherworldliness, and it's very beautiful. So I've not actually read with this one yet, as you can still in order, but I wanted to share it with you because in case you are curious. And this is a deck you can get again on Vermilion Collection. You can get it on Etsy. They have free shipping every time I order from them. I've only had good experiences. It's super fast and everything. I'll make sure to leave their stuff down below. Again, I'm not sponsored, I'm just sharing with you what I like. Let's move on to another deck that I've been really loving in the month of June. One again that I ordered probably around April or May, and that arrived super quickly. The I'm Here Oracle by Murphy Pines. So this is an indie oracle deck, and this was originally a Kickstarter back in 2020 or 2021, I don't know. I didn't back the Kickstarter at the time, I don't know, I must have missed it. And then I guess they have some extra from the Kickstarter because I went on their website recently and they had them for pre-order. So I did that, I pre-ordered it, and I received my copy within 3 weeks. So fantastic, super fast shipping, we love to see it. So I've been using it in the month of June, and oh my god, you guys, this is just a hug in a deck. It feels very sweet and gentle, and it's exactly what I need right now, if I'm completely honest. So it comes with a guidebook that is fantastic for each of the cards. You don't get an image, but you get a full text. And then my favorite part is that you get journaling and action prompts. And I'll just do it like this so you can pause and read it if you want. But the action prompts are really great because it's like actionable things you can do day to day. It talks about different therapy things, different actions you can do, meditations. There's lots here about self-care, self-love, about ways to help you, I guess, go through whatever you're going through. This is just a really, really helpful tool that I have found help me to meet me where I am right now, which is like maybe not my most joyful for the month of June. If you've not seen any of my recent videos, one of my dogs passed away at the beginning of the month, so it's been a really emotionally raw time for me. I've been feeling very sad, right, as you would when you lose one of your furry family members, especially because she had been with the family for 12 years, so yeah, it's just a sad time. And then, like I said, my health has not been the best. So this combination of everything has meant that I've been feeling a little bit more vulnerable, and this deck arrived in the perfect time because it has really helped to meet me where I am and to kind of give me actionable things I can do every day to meet myself, to give myself some time to process and to kind of check in with myself and my soul. So this is very, very precious and special. In terms of self-care deck, this is probably one of my favorite that I have. I don't have a ton of self-care deck, but this one is really well done. It's well thought out. Like I said, the guidebook is fantastic. If you don't want to use a guidebook, you have a sentence here which is great, and I find these little beings just very easy to connect with, and I've been pulling cards for my friends, and without exception it's made people feel very seen. I've even had a lot of mine saying it made them feel emotional because it's just been exactly what we needed to hear exactly at the right time. Look at that, so beautiful. So if you're looking for a self-care deck that's not too woo-woo, here we're not talking about archangels and we're not talking about chakras or anything, but that is very gentle, loving, and grounded in practical reality with keywords that I think are so well chosen, like connect and move. It's actually actionable steps or actionable keywords that you can imply in your day-to-day. Then this is really fantastic. And obviously with this type of artwork, it pairs beautifully with a lot of different decks. So I've actually enjoyed using this a lot this month. And even some of my friends actually purchased it after I sent them a card because they loved it so much. I heard some people who did the Kickstarter had some bad experiences. I honestly can't speak of that because I didn't do the Kickstarter, but for me, ordering it recently, I received it within less than 3 weeks. It was super fast. I had good experience. I have nothing bad to say. So yeah, definitely a very happy surprise with this one. Let's move on to another deck that you will have seen probably on my channel already, but it arrived just after my last haul. So I've had this one for a while, for like almost 2 months now. This is definitely the deck I've been working with already quite a lot. It's the Corrupted Tarot by Wormwood. I think they're an RPG company originally, like they make dice, tabletop stuff, and they have made a tarot deck where they have gotten different artists to collaborate together. And normally this is the kind of thing that makes me run away on the opposite direction. Normally I really am not a collaborative deck girly because I find them not cohesive and it bothers me. I can never bond or connect with them. But I will say that this is one of my few exceptions of collaborative decks that I enjoy. And not only that, wow, this is profound. So first off, this is very graphic. If you don't like gore or blood or anything like that, then just fast forward to my next deck. You're not gonna like this. This, as the name suggests, the Corrupted Tarot, means that every single card has been worked by different artists on the idea of being corrupted. So this is a reversal only type of deck where every single card has been depicted as if it had been pulled reversed or in the shadow side, or in this case they call it the corrupted side, right? This is definitely a deck that is powerful, that is deep, and that is dark. And I don't mean dark because there's blood and gore, although some of the cards are potentially hard to look at for some people, but because every single one of these cards are depicted in a shadow / reversed way, this is the kind of deck that you would want to use for shadow work, in the sense of looking at what's hidden, what you don't see, what's blocking you, like diving deep into your metaphorical basement to look at what's hiding there. What are the ghosts and inner demons that are bothering you right now? This is perfect. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you would be happy to do daily draws with this, and I'm sure you would enjoy it a lot. For me, bit much, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you've seen my cute froggies with bubble butts, right? I guess that's me though. If you watched my video before, you know my taste is very eclectic. I can go from cute froggies with round butts to super dark, gory artwork. I live in that spectrum. Whatever fits in between and more is my taste. What can I say? I'm chaotic tech goblin. Potentially is not going to please everybody. I can understand that this is, you know, what, it's a lot to look at. But for me, when I started to see a few images of this deck, I was enthralled. I thought it was so smart. I thought that even though there's definitely different artists, and you can tell a lot of the artwork feels very different. Something about this, wow, look at this King of Swords. My god, it's just, yeah, very profound. I'm definitely going to be using this for my Your Fool's Journey pick a card readings when we get closer to, you know, the Devil, the Tower, and all of those, the Moon. This is definitely going to come out because it's one of those decks that works perfectly for looking at your fears, looking at your blockages, looking at what you don't want to see. And I've used it for myself for that, and I was actually starting to do a deep study of this deck. Like I was writing, going through each card, writing what I thought of it and stuff, and then literally 10 days later my dog passed away, so I've not really been in the mood to use a deck like this, to be honest, because I've been feeling, like I was saying, very emotionally raw. This is my advice for you. When you are already feeling like shit, maybe not the best time to go and do the type of work that is very triggering and that, you know, is looking at your wounds and your fears and your shortcomings and stuff. So this is why this has been on a little bit of a pause, but as soon as I'm feeling a bit more strong within myself, I'm definitely gonna pick up the work I've been doing with this, because wow, this definitely has a place in my collection. It has something to say, and the readings I've done with it have already been very profound, very triggering. In a good way. It's like, this doesn't leave me indifferent, you know. If I use this deck, I'm gonna get slapped, metaphorically, by the universe, but oftentimes it's because I need to look at something, right? So this was my devil pick for the tag I created called One Deck Per Arcana, where I was sharing with you one tarot deck that for me represented each major arcana, and this is the one I had chosen for the devil, and yeah, it definitely fits. And by the way, if you've not watched that video, I'll make sure to leave it in the cards. If you are clicking on the hashtag One Deck Per Arcana, there's actually quite a few YouTubers that have been picking the tag up, that have been doing their responses, and it's been so great. I'm so grateful to everyone who is deciding to do VR to my tag. It's been really fun watch, so make sure to check that out. We still have 9 decks to look at, you guys, very quickly, because this is definitely gonna appear in my monthly favorites for June. I am so obsessed with this. This is the Little Avatar Tarot by Push Kitty. This is the pocket edition. Pretty much my favorite deck of the month, along with another one that I'll share with you just after. This is an indie deck. I purchased mine on the Salon des Arcanes, which is an indie shop based in France, and this was the last copy. So I'm so sorry. It was the last copy there, but you can get it directly from Push Kitty, the creator, who I believe they're based in America. I'll make sure to leave their stuff down below. Only managed to get this deck in my hands thanks to a wonderful viewer. So if you're watching, again, thank you so much, because thanks to you, who let me know that there was still a copy left in Le Salon des Arcanes shop, I managed to get my hand on this one. The shipping was like double the price of the deck, so I couldn't justify it, but shipping it from France was a lot more affordable, and I was alerted by one of you viewers that this deck was still available in the Salon des Arcanes shop. So thank you so much if you're watching, because this has been one of the very few decks I've been using in the month of June. I've pretty much been using 3 tarot decks only recently. This one, the frog one I've just shared with you, and another one I'll share just after. This, I should have said, is inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is an anime that by Nicole Edon, which came out, I think, in like 2000 or something, so I missed that. It's not one that was airing in Reunion when I was at the age of watching it, I guess. And so I never watched it when it aired, but growing up, I kept hearing people telling me, Maureen, you love fantasy things, you love good stories, you need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, you're really gonna like it. So this year I actually finally watched it, and I fell in love. It was so enjoyable, even as a grown-up kid, because, I mean, in my head I'm still 10, okay? It was very, very enjoyable, even as adult. I could not recommend it enough for you guys to watch it. If you are hesitant, don't be. This is great for kids, this is great for grown-ups. It talks about important life lessons, a lot of spirituality in this show. Actually, there's even a whole episode where they teach you about the chakras, which was incredibly well done. I was so impressed. It talks about war and friendship and family and honor and values and just so much more. And it has truly enchanted me, and it's a show I could see myself rewatching soon, even though I literally only watched it a few months ago. Absolutely in love with the whole Avatar The Last Airbender lore, and I really wanted an Avatar deck, and so this one is just perfect, and it reads like a dream, and using it makes me happy. It's the one of the very few decks that I feel is meeting me where I am. It's making me joyful. But as this is a whole, I need to move on, otherwise we're gonna be here all day. Okay. The other tarot deck I've been using non-stop alongside the Avatar Tarot is a very, very special deck for me. It is the Sundar Tarot that was created by my wonderful friend Angie from A Cup of Tarot here on YouTube and on Instagram. Here are the backs, and this is a prototype. This is an AI generated deck that she created to represent her Indian culture and Indian heritage. And my god, I'm so grateful and so blessed that she sent a prototype to me, because I've been following her along on the creation of this journey. We've been like discussing, she was sharing with me images and everything, discussing options and everything, so I've followed her along in the background for the creation of this deck. And even though this is AI generated, this is definitely for me the exception that makes my rule, which is that it feels like it has so much soul. Hello, Editing Marine here. I'm just coming on here quickly to let you know that Angie has put her deck on Make playing cards, for everyone who wanted to grab this deck, you can do that now. It's up for sale on Make playing cards. I'm gonna leave the link down below where you can purchase it. And yeah, congratulations Angie, I'm super proud of you. And now back to the normal programming. Because I'm not normally an AI deck girly, right? I have close to 200 decks now. Out of those 200 decks, I have 3 AI decks. One I purchased by mistake when I was high on morphine in the hospital. One I was gifted by a friend, and of course it's a gift, it's precious to me, so I'm gonna keep it. And this one is this prototype that my friend made. And so like I said, I'm not normally one for AI decks. I find that a lot of them I've seen out there feel very devoid of soul, feel like cash grabs if I'm honest. This one is the absolute opposite, and I know I'm very biased because one of my closest friends made it, so please don't take what I say as the truth, the universal truth, because obviously I'm gonna be biased, but I know how much effort Angie put into this to depict her culture, to make sure that she came back and edited it and added things. And so this feels so coherent, it feels very balanced, it feels very soulful, and it feels like it holds her energy. There's definitely a lot of effort that was put into it, like I said, with everything that Angie went back to add, to fix, to correct, to edit. A lot of herself is in this deck, a lot of her culture, which I'm so happy to see and to have a deck celebrating Indian culture, because it's something we really miss in the tarot world. I think it's a culture that is sorely underrepresented, very much so. And I mean, I'm just so grateful that Angie sent a prototype to me. So this has been bringing me so much joy. There's a ton of extra cards, like so many, which makes this huge, humongous deck, which is so great to use. If you are interested in this deck, Angie is considering selling it. Make sure to follow her on Instagram and on YouTube, so you can be like following her progress and be updated for what's coming up, because she's considering putting it out there if other people want to enjoy it as well. It's very special and dear to my heart, and so if you're watching Angie, I'm sending you so much love, and I'll make sure to tag Angie in the description box below. And I'm gonna be using this for my July monthly pick a card, July monthly reading, so if you want to see how it reads, you can watch that as well. Let's continue with a couple of decks that I purchased this year month, which is probably honestly my best score in terms of indie decks I've ever had. Best score for like pre-loved, pre-used decks, because these were actually on Facebook Marketplace. They were sold by someone who couldn't connect with them, and I had such an amazing price on them. I couldn't believe it. So it's the Thread of Fate Limited Edition Oracle and the Thread of Fate, the Weaver Tarot, the Journeyer edition. Quick look at those. So let's start with the Oracle. These are pre-loved decks, but honestly they feel brand new. I don't think they were used very much. Actually, I know they weren't used very much, because the lady who I purchased them from, first off, she was selling them in Reunion, which, let me tell you, here are the backs. I should say, actually, first off, I don't think those decks are still in print. I think they're out of print. I apologize in advance. I know these creators are making other decks though, so I will make sure to leave their name in the description box. If it bothers you, just skip forward till the next deck. Here are the backs for the Oracle deck with a guidebook, and the side have this nice antique gold edging. So as I was saying, these are very, very new, and these are my best score in the deck wise, because I paid 10 euro for each deck. They cost me 20 euro in total. I could not believe it. And not only that, but the lady who was selling them was based in Reunion. So sometimes I check out Facebook Marketplace. It's usually where in Reunion most people sell their decks, but the tarot world in Reunion is very small, as you can imagine, and most of the time people will sell mass market decks. I very rarely see indie decks, pretty much never, and I definitely didn't think I would see these decks, which both the tarot and the oracle have been on my wish list for ages. Like, these are decks for me that I never thought I would get my hands on, because when they were still in print I couldn't get them shipped here, and then they went out of print and were even more hard to find. So when I saw that this lady was selling them not only here but for 10 euro each, I ran. And I was half expecting to see fakes, to be honest, but no, these are real, these are perfectly fine, and they're brand new pretty much, because the lady couldn't bond with them. She didn't speak English, she bought them because they were pretty, and I mean, hashtag I can relate. She couldn't bond with them, and she just wanted to get rid of them. I was like, no, I just want them to have a good home, I just want to get rid of them. Don't have to tell me twice. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure, and it's me. I'm the dumpster jumper. I will collect your trash, no problem. So rare to find indie decks in Reunion Island, but not only that, in this quality and out of print decks and decks that have been lusting after for ages, this feels like a gift, to be honest. And apparently, because one miracle is not enough, two miracles is better. She was also selling the tarot, again for 10 euros. I couldn't believe it. This is the Weaver Tarot. This is a Journeyer edition. Again, I'm not sure this is still in print. I don't think it is, but these artists are definitely making other decks, so make sure to check their stuff out if you enjoy this. Look at that. Oh my god. So I've not actually used these yet, because honestly this is giving Cancer vibes, and at the time of me filming we're just starting Cancer season. So I think I'll use it in July, but for now I wasn't feeling it during Gemini season, so I was waiting for it to be when the vibes were right. I don't know, it's giving Cancer vibes, maybe even Libra, but I mean I want to use it before Libra season, so I'm gonna give it a go in July. But look at that, I keep moving my hand so you can see the effect on the cards. Wow. It feels luxe, you guys. It was a huge win, so I'm very excited, and it shows that sometimes there are decks you really want and you think you're never gonna get them, but if you're patient and you let the universe do its thing, they will come to you in the most random ways possible. Like, I never thought I would get these hands, especially not in Reunion, and especially not for that price. There you go. Sometimes if you're meant to have a deck, it will find its way to you. I really believe that. Every deck I've wanted, unicorn or not, I've been patient. Eventually they make their way to me. I don't force things, and they just eventually, it will happen. Okay, the last decks I'm going to be sharing with you today are very, very special. I mean, all of them are. They're all special, I love them all, but these have a story that goes with them. They are all pre-loved decks that used to belong to my friend's mother, who passed away this year. Her mom she was into tarot and oracle, and she had a little collection of cards. My friend Tanya, if you're watching, I'm sending you so much hugs and love, and I'm just so grateful for you. My friend very kindly offered to send me some of the decks that used to belong to her mom that she didn't want to keep and resonate with herself, and she was like, instead of giving it away to strangers, I'd rather they go to you. My god, you guys, when I received the parcels, I was bawling my eyes out because it's so special. Get decks that used to belong to someone who passed. That's happened to me a few times already. I became the keeper, as I like to say, of a few decks from people who passed, and every single time I cry. Every single time I feel so emotional and so grateful and so honored that I get to be the keeper now. It just feels very, very special, and so that's why this deck feel absolutely so special. So I actually received them 2 days ago, and every time I'm thinking about it, I feel ready to cry again. So we're gonna be moving on. I'll share with you the decks, otherwise I'm gonna be an emotional mess again. But let's start with Trust Your Vibes Oracle by Sonia Choquette. So this is one of the decks that my friend sent me. I need to, put myself together, otherwise I'm gonna be crying again. But this is a beautiful mass market Oracle deck. I don't know if it's still in print or not. I'm not sure. This is the one I've been getting to know first, and it's been so wonderful. I'm really, really grateful for this deck. It's a joy. So here are the backs. Again, I don't know if it's still in print or not. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Comes with a guidebook, about 2 pages for each card, tailored for, I would say, emotional support, connecting with your guides, getting a little message from your higher self, from your guides. I love the painting feel of it. The energy of it feels so beautiful, but I honestly couldn't tell you if it's the energy of the deck, because all of the decks that she sent me feel like they're holding a beautiful, kind energy, and I have a very strong suspicion that it's the energy of the previous owner. I've never seen this deck before. I've never seen anyone even shared it, so I feel like it's super underrated. Maybe it's even out of print, I'm not sure. But the painting quality of it is so charming, and it's kind of reminding me a little bit of soul cards, but a little bit more grounded into the everyday, if that makes sense. Less spirit based and more day-to-day based. I love the key sentences, and I've been pulling from it the last couple of days. Like I said, I've only had these decks for like 48 hours, so the other ones I've not properly used yet. I've been using this one, pulling a few cards. I added it in my full moon spread, and it was just a joy. So this is the first deck I was gifted by my lovely friend. I feel very honored and grateful to be its new owner and its new keeper. And this is one I'm definitely going to be using in pick a card readings, because I think it's going to be wonderful for wrapping up readings, right? For like last message from your guides and everything, because the message is on the card. I think it could be fantastic for that. The next one that my friend sent, that used to belong to her lovely mother, is the Dragon Oracle cards by Coralie Morrow and Diana Cooper. Oh my god, I'm so happy, because this is a deck I've been looking at ever since I started reading Oracle decks, really. It was always on my radar because I love dragons, if you don't know. And I never picked it up, but I was always curious about it, and so I'm super grateful that she sent this to me. Again, it's one of those where even though you have a guidebook, the messages are also on the card. So I think here are the backs. I think it's going to be another fantastic one for wrapping up readings, for clarifying, for daily messages, things like that. Again, the energy of it feels so kind and beautiful. But again, this is the energy of the previous owner, which is infused in every single one of these decks. And that makes me feel, again, just very grateful and honored and emotional. So the artwork is gorgeous. I think those dragons are giving more cosmic vibes, which I'm not used to. I'm used to dragons being a little bit more grounded, so I'm excited to have more, I would say, spirit dragons. I think it's going to be a nice change for me. Really look forward to using these in combination with my dragon deck, of course, which I love, like the long tarot and these Mokasha numbers. And I think, again, as clarifying, wrapping up reading, this is going to be fantastic. This is a very well loved deck in the community. I know a lot of you have it. if you do, definitely comment down below. How do you use it? Do you enjoy it? Let's chat. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys, because I know this is a very beloved deck and I'm excited to get to know it better. The next deck she sent to me is the Mystical Shaman Oracle by a lot of people. We have 3 authors. This is one of the older Colette Baron Reed's one, and illustrated by Jenna della Grottaglia. Again, this is a very well-known, beloved deck in the community. It comes in a huge box with a huge guidebook, and within the box is this box. So I just pulled out this one to share with you guys, because I know a lot of you will have seen this one or own it. I never owned it personally. Yeah, like I was saying in a recent video, Colette Baron Reed's older deck usually hit better for me. Like, I love her Spirit Animal deck and her Wisdom of the Oracle. They are my 2 favorites, and I also really love the Good Tarot. All of her more recent ones I have felt were lacking a little bit the juice that I love and enjoy from her previous stuff. This is a deck I've never owned before, so I am excited to check it out. It's one I don't see myself sharing for others, because I know there's definitely like some cultural appropriation issues with this one, but because this is a gift, and like I said, you know, it's part of a very special passing on deck story for me, I'm definitely going to be using it for myself, and I'm excited to explore it because I did hear good things about the guidebook. So I am excited to get to know this one better and to use it for my own personal use. And I mean, this artwork is absolutely gorgeous. This is a kind of artwork from Jenna della Grottaglia that I love, from like this. It's giving definitely Spirit Animal Oracle vibes, which is one of my favorite Oracle decks ever. The last deck I want to share with you today, and the last deck that my friend very generously and kindly sent over to me to be the new keeper of, is the Moon Oracle by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. And I already have the Sun Oracle, Oracle of the Radiant Sun, sorry, by the same people, but I never had the Moon one, and I actually thought she was gonna keep this one for herself, because she had sent me a list of the decks she was unbonding with and asking me if I wanted them, and amongst the list there was this one, and I was like, and my friend, she's Cancerian, and I was like, you know, you should really keep this one because you're Cancerian, you might bond with it. But in the end, I don't think it resonated for her, and so she very generously sent it my way. And so again, I'm so grateful, because this is one I was like curious about and considering getting. Super blown away by how beautiful it is in person. I didn't expect that. Here are the backs. And it comes, I should have shown you, comes with a huge guidebook. It's a book, it's an actual book, even bigger, I would say, than the one that comes with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So this is going to be such a juicy study. I'm very excited to get into this one and to like spend time with it, because this is a deck I've been thinking about for a long time. I was always curious. I watched a few walkthroughs, but I never like purchased it. I got the Radiant Sun, I love it, but I never went and got the Moon one. I said I wasn't expecting this to be in the parcel she sent, but I'm so grateful she did, because I'm blown away by how beautiful this is in person. Like, I've seen walkthroughs of it many times, but I don't know, there's something about seeing it in person. It's even more beautiful, you guys. This is stunning. So the Moon Oracle, from what I understood, and again, I've had these 2 days, I've not properly spent time with it yet, but I gathered that, and I've put the cards back together, some kind of a structure to this deck. So first you have moon related goddesses from all over the world, so you have some goddesses card. Then you have what they call moon mentions and so you have all these cards here that they call moon mentions, that I believe are related to different planets as well. Look into that, obviously, but as you can see, you know, we've got like Venus and Mercury, Venus and Uranus, Venus and Mars, and Venus and Pluto. So I need to look into that, but there's definitely some like planet correlation here. And then, and again, look at this artwork, so beautiful. You know what, I think this would pair so well with the Dark Goddess Tarot, which I love and adore, and I think this would be a beautiful pairing. I mean, I need to spend time with this deck because it's chunky and juicy and there's a lot to explore, but I can already tell with the Dark Goddess tarot, they would go really well. And then the last kind of part of this deck, all the moon phases. So you have all the moon phases for air sign, so crescent, first quarter, gibbous, full moon, and then we go down to disseminating, last quarter, and balsamic and black moon. And you have that for the air signs, earth for water, and fire. So all the different moon phases for each of the signs. It requires a little bit of study, so I can't tell you much about it right now because I've not used it yet. I can just tell you it looks even more beautiful in person, and I'm very grateful that my friend Tanya included this in the parcel, and I'm looking forward to diving deep into this. I would love to know, because again, I know this is a beloved deck in the community. I would love to know if you guys have it, if you enjoy it, how do you use it. Tanya, if you're watching, just know I'm so grateful, and I'm really gonna be sharing them for a long time, so thank you so much. Okay, my friends, this is it. These were all of my new decks. I told you there was a lot. We've had mass market, indie, oracle, tarot, a lot of new decks. Some of them I have used already, and you can be sure to be seeing them again in my June favorites. Some of them I need to explore, and you'll be seeing them in future videos. But now it's your turn to tell me about you. First, if you use and love any of these decks, let me know in the comments. Even if you don't love them, but you've had them, whatever your experience, share in the comments. I love to read you. In the comments, the decks you've been enjoying lately, the ones you've been rehoming, adding, you're working with, whatever. Let's chat in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who sent some lovely words after I was going through a bit of a rough patch. So thank you so much for your kindness, for your support. It means the world. And until my next video, I'm just sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!